going on YouTube? Friends, family, subscribers, Johnny Boomboxer here. It's a Saturday morning. Got the apartment all cleaned up. It's really easy to clean up a little bachelor suite. Takes me like 20 minutes. Something about living in a tiny space I just love. As you go back into my old YouTube videos, you'll see I actually lived out of my minivan for 7 months. Wasn't the first time I did it, but I always like the idea of having a tiny space, everything at hand, and be complete minimalist to where you just have the things you need and that's it. It just seems to give you more control and of your environment and not have to worry about extra things, extra rooms, extra space that you really don't use. Anyway, so talking about minimalism, I just want to get into not get too carried away with your workouts. Sometimes making them too complex, too many exercises. I mean, there's space and time for everything under the sun, even with training. So everything has its time and its place. So, you have your times where you add, say you're hitting chest and you want to do like 5 or 6 different exercises, and just blast the chest away. That's definitely going to help it get past the plateau and train. But when all said is done, you got to remember the rule of thumb. When you want to get right back down to the basics, and that's just sticking to 3 exercises for the bigger body parts and 2 exercises for the smaller body parts. And what I've discovered today that I wanted to tell you guys too is that when you lower your exercises for those body parts and you really want to drill them intensely, but not so much ego movements, go to the hard exercises, the ones that aren't ego movements, the ones that are hard that you have to lighten up on. So, and this comes in handy when you have limited weight to work with, like say you only have a pair of 35-pound dumbbells and you're used to hitting the dumbbell presses with like 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 100, and going heavy because you're pressing. You're using all your triceps, your shoulders, your chest, everything, your back, you're pressing. Yeah, you can go brutally heavy, but I got a nice pair of 35-pound hex dumbbells and a flat bench press that goes into incline or flat. And so today, with my 35-pounders, I am doing the old school Arnold flies, where literally your arms, okay, let me just turn this camera here so you can see. So literally your arms are like this at the bottom of the movement, okay? And you're getting a huge stretch in here, whereas normally in a press, you won't get that. And not only is this going to increase flexibility in your shoulders right in here and improve your range of motion and time, you have to lighten up with this exercise, but you're not using your triceps. So you're not going to get that extra power. You're out like this, okay? And you're getting a huge stretch, and then you're coming back in right above your head. Always keep the weight right above your eyes, okay? You don't want to be down here. You don't want to be up here. You always want to, when you're doing a press, anything, you want that weight in your arms. You want it to be right there, right in front of your eyes, like that. So that's what I'm using today, is the 35s. And I'm doing some real deep stretches, and as you get into it, Arnold used to be able to do them real deep, and that's just for anyone with a narrow shoulder girdle or bunched up chest. That's going to make your chest nice and wide and your stance nice and wide when you're standing. over time. So what I'm doing is, after I'm done, I'm just going to stick to 2 exercises today. The flies and the overhead presses. So I don't know how many sets I'm going to do, but I'm on my 5th set now. But that's just it. When you're sticking to 2 exercises, you can do a lot more sets and just focus on those 2. You don't need to get all extreme and all the time and be doing all kinds of exercises, running around your gym, switching up weights. Stick to 2 things. So I'm doing 2 things that I have to lighten up on that's going to stretch the chest out and just make it bigger, more stretched out and a wider shoulder girdle. So after the flies, I'm going to get in with my bench flat. I get the upper back laying down on the bench with the feet planted firmly on the ground. And I'm going to get into the old school, okay, going way back, way back. This is my first time doing these in a long time, so you don't want to pull anything, but it's all about getting the stretch. So you get those dumbbells in your hand like this. You know, you got the shape like this in your hands, and you have the dumbbells resting in there, and you're going to go back as far as possible, and your bum will come up a little bit as your shoulders go back and over top of the bench, and you want to go back as far as possible, get a good stretch, and then once again come up right in front of your face, right in front of your eyes, back and up. And when you're doing this, your chest is contracted, and you get a real good hard contraction right when you're about here, okay? And you can actually, as you get used to this movement, you can go pretty heavy, but the point is go back as far as you can, and then when you really get used to this movement, you can actually explode up a little bit and stop right here and squeeze. So I'm going to make these my bread and butter for a while, and I'm not going to get into showing you it today because I'm just getting into it, but my next workout, I will show you my full chest workout, and we're just going to get that chest to get nice and wide and big. And this is how you grow. It's not always going heavier. It's going lighter and doing the exercises that are hard and the ones that make you stretch things out, like overhead dumbbell extensions for triceps, going all the way down, stretching that tissue out. So there's so many ways to grow and get past plateaus and to kill the muscle fibers in bodybuilding. It's just endless, okay? And that's what I flippin' love about it. Bodybuilding and the types of training you can do, the style, the mentality, the amounts of weights, where you want to train, how you want to train, how you want to dress when you train. It's such a creative, powerful art form that's made into a sport where when you're training, you're not playing as a team. It's completely focused, and it's a little bit selfish, but it's completely focused on yourself and your goals. And of course it does get competitive if you're in a gym with competitive lifters, but that's when you get into a lot of ego training. And when it's all said and done, if you're competing, it's, you know, what you're presenting on the stage. So yeah, probably won't post this video until tomorrow, Sunday, but hope all you guys are enjoying whatever you're doing, whether you're on lockdown, whether you're working. You know, take a deep breath and just embrace it. You know, embrace it. Don't get too big for your britches. Don't start chasing waterfalls. Just maintain your composure, be content, and embrace every minute of every day. Count your blessings. Yeah. I got your back. You got mine. Let's do this.